Today I thought I'd share how I make self-portraits on film. So we all know how to make the classic film camera self-portrait in the mirror, right? It's always a fun shot and it gives people that little glimpse behind the scenes. However, things get a little bit more complicated when you want to make a film self-portrait without having the camera in the frame. Hi there, my name is Els and I've been shooting film and making self-portraits on film since 2010, which is basically when everybody thought that film photography was ancient history. So today I want to share a few tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years that I hope might help you make your own self-portraits on film. If we want to do more than a basic mirror selfie, then we have 3 problems to solve. How do we compose our shot? How do we get the focus right? And how do we actually press the shutter? To get the shot you want, a tripod will always be your best friend. You can set up your shot, look through the viewfinder, and actually see what is going to be in the frame. That said, I don't always carry a tripod with me. I have totally balanced my camera on a stack of books before. You just gotta work with what you got. So if you're making self-portraits, you probably want to be in focus, but you also cannot actually be in the shot when you're setting the focus. So how do we solve this problem? The solution is using a stand-in. Something small that you will most likely have on hand, that is, if you're not always losing yours like I am, is a lens cap. You can just put it where you plan on being in the shot, go back to your camera and then manually focus on the lens cap. Then when you're ready to take the shot, you just remove the lens cap and take its place. This method works well, but it has a downside. It doesn't give you any information on how tall you will be in the composition. So you might end up composing a photo with your head completely out of the frame. That's why my favorite stand-in to use when setting the focus is actually a light stand. First of all, I can set it to exactly my height, which really helps me visualize where I'll be in the shot. It's also pretty lightweight, so you can easily move it or take it with you when you're planning on making a self-portrait. And as it's basically a straight line, I can mark my exact spot on the floor with some tape, a rock, or a lens cap. Okay, so now for the fun part, the actual shooting. If your camera has a self-timer, then great, just set it, press the shutter, and run into position like your life depends on it. Self-portraits are basically an extreme sport. For example, this shot of me lying on the bed looks all dreamy and peaceful, right? Yeah, no. I shot it with a Praktica MTL3, which has an 8-second timer. That means I had 8 seconds to press the shutter, run to the bed, get in position, fix my dress, and hope for the best. Now, if sprinting isn't your thing, then you can use a cable release. For self-portraits, you'll want at least a 1 meter long cable, anything shorter and you're basically stuck to your camera. The longer the cable, the more freedom you have. Problem is, finding an affordable long cable release is tricky. Which brings me to my favorite method, the autoknips. This little mechanical timer attaches to your camera and does all the work for you. You can find them on eBay for around $10 to $20. Most models require a small cable release, but some screw directly into the camera. Before you buy one though, make sure that your camera actually has a cable release socket. Some cameras, like certain Yashica models, need a special kind of cable release, so always double check. So to use the autoknips, you want to wind it and also press this arrow so it stops going. Then you can place your cable release inside the autoknips. And then you can screw the cable release in your camera. A small tip here is to wind the film after you've screwed in the cable, unless you like accidental exposures. I've been using this one for over a decade, and fun fact, this model was actually released in 1923, making it over 100 years old, and it's still working perfectly. And that's it! Self-portraits on film are not as complicated as they may seem, it's just a little bit of problem solving and a lot of trial and error. If you've got any fun self-portrait stories or tips, please share them in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. That's why my favorite stand-in to use when setting the focus is actually a tripod. No, it's not. Okay, so now for the fun part. Actually taking the photo. And also taking...
Kom hier. Kom je. Kom je hallo zeggen. Hier is ze. Hier is ze.